Now, in other news, a BBC investigation has found that the practice of incinerating much of the UK's household rubbish is as polluting as burning coal. Almost half of all household waste now goes into industrial incinerators, and recycling rates have stagnated. Here's our environment correspondent, Matt McGrath.
Steam billows down Mandy Royal Street from what she calls the monster next door.
Look how thick it is. But it's blowing straight at our houses and we're breathing all that in.
Her home in Runcorn in the northwest of England is a stone's throw from the UK's largest energy from waste incinerator.
So if you want to sit in the garden and enjoy the sun, you've got the smell, the steam, flies, and then the noise as well.
This Viridor site burns the equivalent of around 200 double-decker buses of black bin bags every single day, around 1 million tonnes a year.
I've lived here since '98, and then in 2015 they decided to put the incinerator in my front garden. Well, it felt like my front garden, and ever since it's just been a nightmare.
Viridor say their site is closely monitored by the Environment Agency, and the amount of noise and water vapour remain within permitted levels for the environment and human health. We used to bury our rubbish in landfill sites like this, but the government imposed heavy taxes as worries grew about planet-warming methane seeping out from underground. So councils turned to burning. And over the past decade, there's been a rush to build energy from waste facilities, with many more in the pipeline. All those incinerators are using increasing amounts of this stuff, black bag bin waste. But our investigation shows that burning this is the same as burning coal. And that's because we're using increasing amounts of this stuff, plastic, making energy from waste our dirtiest way of making electricity.
We do have concerns about the building of new energy from waste plant. This can't be seen as a sort of just a way of getting out of jail for free and dealing with the whole kind of management of waste.
We raised these questions with the body that represents UK incinerator operators. In a statement they said, the growth in overall carbon emissions from energy from waste corresponds with the growth in the number of facilities over the past decade, which have moved millions of tonnes of residual waste out of landfill. The government said they are considering the role waste incineration will play as it decarbonises and grows the economy. For Mandy Royal, the personal impact of living next door to an energy from waste site is taking its toll.
I'm sort of stuck. I'm stuck in a rut down here.
Matt McGrath, BBC News.
Well, let's speak now to Ian Williams, Professor of Applied Environmental Science at the University of Southampton. Professor Williams, welcome to the programme. And as we heard there in Matt's report, there have been some financial incentives, haven't there, to move towards incineration. But what I'm trying to understand was, at that point, was there not an understanding that incineration could be as polluting as burning coal?
Oh, yes, for sure. There was a clear knowledge that our municipal solid waste contains a lot of carbon. It's at least 25% carbon. And if you burn that, you will generate a lot of damaging greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide. That's been very well known. And it was a political decision by the previous administration in England to go down this route. Wales took a completely different approach, and it is now the second best recycling country in the world as a result.
A really interesting contrast then. So do you think that it should be a policy to move back towards landfill for disposing of rubbish?
Oh no, we can't go back to landfill. Neither landfill nor incineration of our waste are the suitable mechanisms, certainly in the 21st century, for dealing with waste. We should be using recycling, reuse, waste avoidance and prevention. And indeed, these have been strategies that have been discussed for over 20 years, promoted for more than 20 years, known about for more than 20 years, and employed in many other countries, with Wales being a local example of how to do it, but a wide range of other countries around England have made different political decisions and moved in a better direction in terms of resource efficiency and reducing pollution.
And absolutely, we do all know that recycling is obviously the ideal way to go. But at the moment, where material can't be recycled, is there an improvement in technology for carbon capture, for example, to stop the amount of dangerous gases, greenhouse gases, getting into the atmosphere?
Well, in the UK, I believe there's only one waste incinerator which has got any carbon capture technology on it, and it captures a trivial amount of carbon dioxide. So it would require a huge investment in technology and a lot of time to do this. And of course, we've got an awful lot of incinerators planned or have approval for progression, and we don't need them. We already have pretty much over capacity, and the amount of waste that we generate is going to go down because of planned government strategies, targets and policies. So there's absolutely no need to build any more incinerators, and we should be diverting the money that we use on this for other mechanisms.
Professor, we're out of time, but thank you very much for your time today. Professor Ian Williams there.